morning, you beautiful humans. My name is Ariane Andrew.
I'm Matt Dillon, and welcome to another piping hot episode of Sippin' the Tea, where we
Sip the tea and our guests
spill that tea. Cheers. You thirsty? Uh-oh. Oh, girl. Nasty. We got Miss Mama in town.
We have little glitty glit over here.
And today, ladies and gentlemen, we're putting our business hats on because we are going to learn some tips, some secrets, how to live your life and live your dreams that you've always desired. We have Kedma Ough. She is a small business champion, and she has a fabulous new book out, honey, Target Funding. You may be confused, but after this, you won't be, my love.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Hello.
Thank you.
How are you feeling today?
I'm always great.
Feeling great?
Welcome to LA.
Always great. Yes, thank you.
Okay, so we're going to just dive right on in, girl. So
All right.
what I think is phenomenal is that you have
This book. Sorry, guys.
Make that book happen.
We're just going to do that. I'm having technical difficulties.
Hey, guys, it happens. But it's looking fly. It's living its
There
best
we
life
go.
right now. So you have this phenomenal story of, you're a mother, you are trying to get things going and then file for bankruptcy. But
Yes.
then now you have the success story. So
Yes.
take us back and how everything started and how you went from bankruptcy to now
Yes.
a very successful person
Yes.
who is a successful woman
Yes.
who is killing it right now.
Thank
Business.
you. Thank you. Yes, and I actually filed bankruptcy before I was a parent, but I am a parent now, 3 wonderful kids that I love. Well, some teenagers.
She's like, that I love just one. She's like, just one.
No. I have 3 that are amazing. But it's about being real, right? And back in 2001, if we had a time machine and I brought you back with me, I would love to say it was amazing, but you would have found me crying my eyes, like sobbing my eyes out, sitting on this curb right above a lamppost because I just filed bankruptcy.
Wow.
Now, here's the interesting thing. Most women file bankruptcy because they go through a divorce. Has nothing to do with their knowledge of money.
That's interesting.
Has nothing to do with their work ethic. It's just that they had a crisis. The other 2 reasons people file, health. If you get cancer, you may have that situation, or a job crisis. So here I was thinking to myself, how do I even continue? Because everything is tied to our credit, to our collateral, to our current future of what the funds look like. So I'm in my apartment and I get this envelope from Capital One. It's this credit card company. I remember thinking to myself, why is Capital One sending me anything? I just filed bankruptcy. What do they need from me?
Give me.
And I opened it and it said, we're giving you $200 as a credit card. Now, I'm going to pause because my favorite game as a little girl was Monopoly. I don't know if you've ever heard of Monopoly. I know I'm aging myself. I know.
No,
So,
we know Monopoly.
You know Monopoly?
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
So here's the question. When you go around the board and you pass go, how much money do you get?
$200.
That's right,
Please.
baby.
Chingle.
So guess what? I was back in the game.
The game of life.
The game
Back
of
in the
life.
game of life.
Back in the game of life. And that moment, I had an aha.
Wow.
And I said,
the darkest.
the darkest moment. That's when you have them. You never have them when you're just sitting, just sipping tea and the world is all great.
Let's have a cheers to that. I like that.
I'm sorry.
Cheers to that.
I'm sorry. It's when you're just sipping water and then you don't know when the next
Girl, this
work
ain't
is
water.
coming.
Oh, she just put us on.
She's like, this steak tea. It's not tea.
Today, guys, we have a little H2O in here, so it's not tea, but it's.
Oh, I love you guys.
Hey, it's about keeping it authentic, keep it real. She put it out there.
Look at this one, throwing us under the bus already. All right, continue,
Wait,
my
hold
love.
on. She's spilling the tea for
I
real.
love you guys.
My
We're all in authenticity today. We're making it real. So
Nothing to say.
let me go on.
All right, we passed go. You got to a point.
So I say, what if I go on a journey to discover every funding and resource available to people like me? Good
Real people.
Real people
Yeah.
who've had a life crisis and it's not their fault. And so that took me on a 15-year journey, literally 15 years. I studied every funding source, so much so that I taught at the university and I said to my students every time I taught, you find me a funding source I don't know about, I'll take you out to dinner. Yeah, I never took anyone out to dinner, okay? Because
She be like,
I never took anyone out to dinner because I was so obsessed with proving that in spite of having no money or filing bankruptcy, you can still win the American dream. You can still have the funding. So, you know, I pulled myself when nothing was there, and now I'm on the other side, wanting desperately to teach people that they don't have to be stuck in that crisis.
And that then ties to this little
Exactly.
baby right here. So, being that we are minorities
Yes.
in ourselves.
Yes.
Beautiful black chocolate, la 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 here.
Gorgeous.
I'm part of the LGBTQ community. The one thing I really like about this, that, you know, it's a subject that is foreign to a lot of people, but also freaking scary.
Yes.
It's scary. It's scary to like want to have a dream, and you have that dream and you don't know how to funnel it and to
Yes.
keep it going. And then to put up with like societal bullshit, quite frankly, that it's like, well, you're not the cookie cutter of what this is.
Yes.
Take us through the book and take us through how I think makes it really unique and different, that it's divided into chapters where it can apply to us. We can flip and be like minorities, ethnicities.
Yes.
Take us through that, because this is 15 years of your life.
15 years of my life, exactly. And I always tell people, if you had a chance to learn from a national expert, and every year they worked on your behalf, and all you had to do was pay them $1. And after 15 years, you pay them $15.
I'll give you $1 right now.
That's right.
Wait. You take Venmo, girl? I'll give you $1 right now.
That's right. So let me bring you through it. Here's the beauty of this. I want everyone to know your identity is part of the key to finding the money. You see, the thing I cracked the code on was variables, and the variables are unique to you. So I'll give you an example. If you say to me that you identify as African American, female, based in LA, who's focused on a technology company and likes to do communication education, maybe for people who have autism. Every one of those variables,
Specific.
Yeah, it's very specific.
Every one of those variables. Oh, and I'm going to add that you're also a lesbian. Every one of those variables.
She's dropping bombs.
Guys, there's some tea that's just been spilled today, and I'm just kidding.
But every one of those variables is tied to funding. There's funding for women. There's funding for African American or Black. There's funding for LGBT or lesbian. There's funding in Los Angeles. And so the beauty of this is we tie your uniqueness to who you are as a person on top of the uniqueness of the business, and that's how we target the funds. So funds are tied to variables that are unique to you. Instead of, I'm going to go to Mr. and Mrs. Google, and I'm going to put in grant.
Okay.
I gotcha. So it's basically looking at less about the wider scope of things and actually looking at the unique points of yourself.
Amen.
And being like, how, you know, obviously 15 years, but how, besides buying your book, the age of the internet and being able to like, just to continue that, specifically like, you know, Ariane's working on a clothing line.
Oh.
Yes.
Let's get specific.
Oh,
All right. So talk. Let's connect those dots.
Yeah, because you know, especially for people who are like watching right now.
Everybody has a dream.
You know, everyone has a dream, and everyone has like, you know, they feel like, well, I don't have this, I don't have the funds, or I'm this, or I'm that.
Got it.
So let's just
Let's use you as the example.
Let's use me as an example.
Okay.
Okay. So coming out with a athleisure line.
Nice.
And it's cat suits.
Nice.
So I guess that's about as specific as I'll get.
Perfect.
I don't want to spill too
Okay,
much
spill
tea.
too
Oh,
much.
all of a sudden, she doesn't want to spell too much tea.
No, just a little bit, because it's not dropping till 2020.
Okay,
And you know,
got
I
it.
want people out there still an idea.
Got it.
But yeah, so you know, my business partners, I don't know if it makes a difference, but they're twins.
Okay.
And they're Vietnamese. So
Yes, it does.
Okay, so they're Vietnamese. You have the Black girl.
Yep, of course,
that are,
Asian.
And
Yeah.
we're women.
Yep, got
who
it.
are coming out with
I
an
love
athleisure
it.
line.
So,
Where do we go?
And are you based in LA?
Yes, we are based
Okay,
in
so first thing we're going to do is we're going to look at the startup phase of the variable, because believe it or not, there's funding if you're in research and development or you're in the startup phase, okay? Then we're going to look at not only LA, but we're going to look in California, because there is going to be funds set aside just because you're in that area. Many times I weave into economic development, because economic development is different than banks. The job of economic development is to create job creation, to incentivize. So we want to look there. After that, we absolutely have to hit the women-owned business. You will be shocked how much funding is set aside just because you identify as a woman. We are not going to just base in California. We're going to look nationally.
Okay, because they are originally from France.
Okay.
And then moved to Montreal. So I don't know if that and they speak Vietnamese, and French. So
And
I
are
don't
they
know if-
based here?
But they are based here.
Okay.
Yes.
And they're a resident here
They're resident
in
here.
California?
Yeah.
Okay. So we'll do that, and then we'll look at the women. And again, I want to pause before I continue. When we hear the word grant, people think grant is just free money, but we want to be careful here. Grant could be a gift. It could be a subsidy. It could be a discount. So if you had the image that you had to spend $10,000 on a website, but through my channels, I was able to get you that exact website talent, but all you had to pay was $2,000, you received an $8,000 grant because you would have paid $10,000. So be very mindful of that, that grants are different, and there's different terminology too. So if you key in grant, you may get 60 million hits. But if you key in forgivable loan, which is actually a grant that's forgiven based on metrics you do on a loan, still a grant, you will never maybe key that in because you don't know. So I want to backtrack now. We're going to look at women. We're also going to look at the design. You will be shocked how much funding is in design. I'm going to throw one out for you, girl, because you haven't read my book yet, I don't think. Girl Boss Foundation focuses on women funding, grants, okay?
Put that in for me.
Grant.
My phone's charging.
We got grant for women
Girl
who
Boss
are
Foundation.
Girl Boss Foundation.
All right, thanks for coming. Get it, girl.
No, but they're so amazing because they don't only focus on women. They want women with creative design work, artists.
She's getting specific,
Design.
and that's
I know,
what
I know.
we
Yes.
want.
I know.
Because it's so hard to break
I
this
got
shit
it.
down.
I got it.
Yeah.
I curated over 100 agencies just in my book alone that you can go and read a chapter, you can follow up immediately. So there's a lot in design. Now, if I'm going to invite another suggestion for you, I want you to add a cause. I want you to add a cause that means something to you that you really want to align to, because then that's also funding we can go after.
Cats LA. Which
Okay,
is
so what is that?
set to abolish human trafficking. and
Perfect,
slavery.
perfect. So then we're going to circumvent and we're going to get into the nonprofit funding, right? Where you can still be a for-profit, but you can align with a 501c3, show them the funding available, and maybe through their work, their funding, there's some education or training that benefits these women, and now you're getting additional funding. So
Got it.
again, you have to understand that it's all there, but then we have to target it.
Ooh,
Girl,
Well,
she got that number on speed.
I'm like-
But that's just one.
Yeah, but we don't want to spill too much
Yeah,
tea
it's-
because
yeah, girl.
people are
Exactly.
gonna have to go out here and they have to buy the
Right.
book on Amazon, okay?
Right.
You know, so you don't want to spill too much,
No.
girl. But you are an Amazon bestseller, which is
Yeah,
amazing.
soon to be, right? I mean,
Yes.
we're working
Soon to be. This book is out. So I want to we like to talk about in terms of you being a successful entrepreneur,
Yes.
you coming from the scope of tough times.
Yes.
How you reframe and frame your days when you're getting started, because it's a tough slug sometimes.
Yeah.
Sometimes just getting out of bed's not easy. How do you frame your mornings to
Okay.
kind of kick yourself up into a right? Because no day is the same for you, I would assume.
Right. Well, your audience is going to hate me because every day for me is game day, and I'm going to tell you why. Because
Some Rocky moves.
I'm sorry.
Wait,
I'm sorry.
I'm there with you right there.
I'm
That
sorry.
every day is game day.
It's game day.
Especially Mondays. I love me on
Yeah.
Monday.
So a couple of things. One is I wear everywhere I go. If I'm not in cape, because you know I wear a superhero cape on stage. I don't
Good.
play. It's a uniform. So if someone comes to me and says I like your costume, I say this is not Halloween. Did you say this? This is not Halloween. Okay. This is a costume? No, this is a uniform. Nurses wear uniforms, doctors wear uniforms, and superheroes wear uniforms.
Okay, girl.
All right. So if I don't wear a cape, then I'm in brand, right? So I'm wearing this bracelet right now,
Like that.
and you can
Right
see,
here.
here I am. So you can see, and this is my reminder. And the reason, so you asked me what my routine is. So first I get up and I do a mantra. Now, before I tell you the mantra, because you're going to think I'm a little nuts, because they are both amazing and they contradict themselves. First thing I do, I wake up and I say, I am the luckiest woman in the world. And I believe it. Luck finds me all the time. But the second thing I say is, today is my last day on earth.
Oh, girl.
Now, I'm going to tell you why I do that. Because I believe you only have today and you have to be 100% focused. You don't have tomorrow. And if you are focused that today is your last day on earth, you're going to know what you have to do.
I'm going to turn up and have a party.
So to me, it's really real because every day is an opportunity to shine and to do your service.
Yeah.
And I'm very, very driven to do my service. So I wake up early with an attitude. You know, my attitude is I have to get things done. And
She's a Bronx girl.
I am.
She's
I'm
from the
born in the
Bronx.
Bronx.
Born in the Bronx.
I have this image I'm going to give the audience. So I always say that I'm on a train. I'm the conductor, of course. I'm on the train going.
She's a boss.
I'm going. Well, yeah, I am an alpha female. Let's just own it.
I'm into it, babes.
But I always say I'm on this train and it's going fast. It's going, 200 miles an hour, and you have three choices. Three choices. Choice one, you can wave me goodbye. You'll be there. Oh man, I want to wave goodbye. Choice two, you can join me on the train. Mm-hmm. Or choice three, you can go in front of the train. Either way, the train keeps going, which means we remove the noise and we focus. So that's my mantra. And then I wake up every morning and I exercise because you got to discipline the mind.
Correct.
So true.
Right?
No, for real. Because I mean, if I study a lot of successful people, and there's a lot of very similarities. You just said it. Gratitude.
Gratitude, huge for me.
You practice exercise.
Huge.
And you wake up with this, I am this bad ASS.
That's right.
Mentality, which you have to have if you really want to win in life. Doesn't matter if you're cooking French fries or owning your own business. It's about being the best that you possibly can be in the genre and field that you're in.
Exactly.
And that's what you're doing, girl.
Yes. And I'm only competing against the best version of who I can be.
Oh,
what?
That's just.
I love that.
That is just so real because most people are competing with.
What'd you say?
He's over here.
Just checking myself
He was
out.
checking himself out. Typical Mr. Magella.
We're talking about living your best life.
You living your best life.
Just like this, like, oh.
Annie.
Wait, hold on, we'll be right back.
Okay.
Get back to
Okay, now we're back. No, because most people are in competition with others, but I love what you said. You're in competition with being the best
version of yourself.
Oh,
because everyone is unique and everyone is amazing. The problem is they listen to other people that downplay it.
That's an interesting point. We should tap into that just a little bit.
You want to?
How you get rid of the noise that surrounds you.
Very
I feel
simple.
like we're all very simple.
Very simple. One friend per state.
Oh wait! All right.
I'm sorry.
Bring it. All right.
Wait.
She got a rule, girl.
One friend per state.
I have a rule. One friend per state.
Not per city.
Not per city. No, per state. I don't have, one rule per state. So sometimes people will call me and they're in Oregon, because I'm in Oregon. They say, I'd love to be your friend. I'm sorry, position's taken. You have a couple of choices. One is you can wait till they pass on or relocate, or there's an opening in South Dakota. But that's my rule. One friend per state. Because to your point, to the noise, you have to be so mindful of that inner core, that inner relationship, that inner connection. And that's how I protect myself. I know exactly what states are available and what states are taken.
She's like, no vacancy at the
No
end
vacancy,
tonight.
baby. Yes.
Well, they say you become like the 5 people you surround yourself with. So that is very important that you are filtering the noise of who you take in.
Yes.
Oh, girl.
I really I really like that. I think that's like something that you can carry through life, because there's people that say, I have all these friends, and I'm like, no, they're acquaintances.
No.
And I feel like you're in a position now where you've written this book to reach a magnitude of people.
Absolutely.
Because not one person, that's why we're doing this show, we're reaching people through who tune in and fans and what have you. But I think it's about the definition, particularly when you're helping people, and I'm sure you get inundated. Questions and questions, because everybody wants to do well in life, and everybody wants, I think educational tools like this to understand, just remove the stigma that it's like, we all want to create something, but sometimes we don't know how to put that jigsaw puzzle together, It's like really tricky. And I think that's, having this is definitely moving in the right direction, and it doesn't spread you thin.
No, it doesn't. And I want to call a few things that you mentioned that triggered me. Number one, I tell all my clients every single day, there's a funding party happening. There's a party every single day.
Right.
Yes. The problem is,
rain on me, baby.
Yeah, the problem is you're not invited to the funding party because you don't know it exists. Then people say, I want to crash the party. You can't crash a party.
You're not on that list, bitch.
But my job is to show people where the funding parties are. Then they can choose if they want to be invited or not, or if they want to show up. So the education stops when they have enough tools and resources to execute. And I say this because there's a difference between lifting people to educate and enabling. So I'm going to give you a quick thing, so make it real. Okay. I imagine every single person is climbing a mountain. And if you're climbing next to me, I'll give you a couple of things. First of all, if you need water, I'll give you water. Second of all, if you need food, I'll give you food. Third of all, if you want to know where to put your legs so you don't fall, I'll hook you up with that. But I don't do piggybacks. Okay? I don't do piggybacks.
She doesn't do piggyback.
I don't do piggyback rides. No. The mountain is for your journey, and you can't come on my back.
Can you start it
can't come on.
No. Start it for the piggybacks, girl, because that's
the
pop.
piggyback. The mountain is your journey. And you can't come on my back and ride the mountain. You have to do the mountain on your own.
Okay, I mean, on that note, I'm gonna have
She's
to
like, pop.
I'm gonna
That's
do a little
cheers
that's
moment.
a cheers moment.
That's a cheers. Do you think that stems from that concept? Stems from the idea of you being at the rock bottom, of like like when you're learning stuff in life, like we all have to hit that bottom, I guess.
Well, because the thing is, the only thing from bottom is, up unless you die.
That's right.
I mean, there's nowhere else you can go.
There are plenty of bottoms out there, but that's another subject.
Oh my God. Anyways, on a different note.
And one comment you said is unless you die, and two things I see that are really sad and we want to change. Some people are walking zombies. They are dead inside because they don't feel like there's a place. And I want to tell them there's always hope. And then the other thing that frustrates me is all these ideas that I see that never go to fruition. They're in the cemetery. Their dream has died and they're in the cemetery. And now, I'm not about resurrecting zombies, but I would love to resurrect someone's dream and say, you know what? Yeah, I can make this happen. And now I have tools and resources to figure it out.
Boom. And then on that note right there, girl, can you look at this camera right here and tell everybody where they can follow you at, where to get the book, and
Absolutely.
especially how you just ended on that note, how they can resurrect their dream.
Yes. So the best place to find me is you can find me at kedmaough.com, targetfunding.com, obviously through this amazing group, and then LinkedIn, and then I have to say Instagram, although Matt gets mad at me.
Girl.
On Instagram.
She don't even know who I am up on the ground.
But